This story that a mom who has sons who game told me recently is a story I hear all the time. And when I share it with you, you're probably going to relate to it very easily. So she told me her sons are normally fairly mild-mannered, normal teenagers, but when they game in their room, she hears a volume of anger and frustration and language they would never allow in their home anywhere else. And it was really shocking as it continued to escalate. Now, we all know people that rage. You've probably raged. You probably quit a game. We all have our frustrations. But here's the thing. While some people will say, as someone did to me yesterday, that, well, this is how I blow off steam. This is what I do to get rid of all of that frustration and anger I have throughout the day. But let's think about that for a second. Is that really a beneficial way to deal with frustration? Because when you're in the world outside of your game, you don't get to do that. Well, that's exactly why, Street. I want to be able to do it in the game. Well, isn't the better option? Because typically when people rage in a game, they're not just raging by themselves, especially if it's a multiplayer game like I play, they're typically putting it out on other people. And that's never good in any way, shape, or form. So isn't there a better way to deal with it in using gaming to be able to vent that frustration and become more calm that translates into your everyday life outside of the game where you can't just rage and go crazy with people? So the answer obviously is yes, because being calm and resilient in difficult situations is a skill. It's not something that you're typically born with. Now, some people are more calm than others and more resilient than others. I get that. But what I'm saying is it's a skill if you have or don't have that can be developed or advanced. And it's really simple. And so we teach it from my playbook and from the programs that we have this way. So here's your pro tip. Write down how you feel as you start a game. We did this last night in Mood Monday throughout my stream. Every game wrote down what's our mood, how are we feeling, so that when you go back and look at that, you can say, okay, what triggered me? What helped me to get over it? When was I most frustrated? When did I feel better? And you can start to adapt to situations and control them and how you respond. And that directly translates into what you do in everyday life outside of a game. So rather than it just being a venting situation, for many people, they feel worse getting off the game than they did when they started, which is a whole other conversation we'll have. But for this mom to be able to say, look, I want you to game, I want you to relax, I want you to clear your mind, but I don't want you to be more angry and have behaviors that you continue to reinforce that we don't accept in our home and that definitely aren't going to be accepted in school or the workplace and the world outside of gaming. So use it to be able to develop a skill because it is a skill set, and you'll find that the benefits everywhere else will become second nature. I'm not saying you'll never get angry again, but I'm saying as you start to feel it, you'll be able to understand that, hey, in this high intensity situation in this game, I'll actually perform better in the game. And it's also going to train me to perform better outside of the game. Simple tip, learn to be calm, learn to be resilient. Because in the end, that's emotional intelligence. That's EQ that we talk about. You want to find out more? Go to yourrightvibe.com. You can check out all the details, find the book, find all the programs, and see exactly what it is we're doing. And as always, let me know your thoughts.